Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we have Miss Wendy Lee, the founder of Chapter 1 Asia. Now, Chapter 1 Asia is an award-winning brand image consultancy firm, and Wendy has been voted as one of Asia's most inspiring speakers. She is also the director of World's First Brand Image International Institute. It's a joint collaboration with Open University Malaysia. To date, Wendy has trained and coached more than 80,000 corporate executives, helping them define and refine their brand and image through their appearance, behavior, and communication. She's got multiple companies under her belt, some big notable ones, not just in Malaysia, but also within the region. Thank you so much for joining us today, Wendy. How are you?
Hi, Ernest. A little correction there. We have actually trained more than 200,000. That was quite a while ago already.
Wow, congratulations. And it must have been a long journey for you.
For 15 years, it's been a long time. Yeah. It's surprisingly very fast, time flies. It's like, suddenly when you wake up, you're already in this for 15 years.
How did you get involved in this industry, if you don't mind me asking? And how did you move from your previous career to do this?
Well, previously, I started off my career as a marketing executive in the pharmaceutical and biotech world. So basically, I was a sales rep, all right? And it came to a point where I was with a very, very good company. It was the third largest biotech company in the world. And I was reporting straight to Singapore. But it came to a point whereby, big pharmaceutical companies were eating up and there was a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So it was a choice of whether to stay back in Malaysia or to be they wanted to promote me over to regional center in Singapore. But then at that time, I was like thinking, should I go? Should I stay? My husband was here and we were thinking, should I choose love over career? Love career. So I chose love and I stayed back. And so we wanted to start a business, but I wasn't, I'm a very corporate person. So I wasn't sure what is it that I could do. So somebody suggested why not going into makeup, image and all that. But I wasn't very keen to be a makeup artist, which means that I'll be working freelance and all that. I'm more towards corporate. So what happened was I went into the website and I found this thing called image consultancy. And so it's very interesting because during my time, there were not many individuals that ventured into this, right? And did not have a proper qualification. So it was just sort of like a touch and go kind of thing. So I took up the certification, and when I came back, it was interesting because, I took it in Singapore. My teacher was actually from Australia. It was a bit challenging because people did not know at that time what image consultancy was about, and I did not know, how to move about, how to get business and all that. So I started off selling accessories, and during that time, the flea market just opened. Right? So it was very interesting because I was sitting there at a flea market and with all my accessories, trying to sell something, trying to, to see whether there is a market on that. And what happened was I went into sort of like giving free talks, because I had my accessories to support me. So I gave free talks, but I had people buying accessories and all that to support that. Then eventually somebody introduced me to corporate trainings. Right? And that was how I ventured into it, and everything was done sort of like by mistakes and all that. I had no mentor, no teacher, no whatsoever. And but we grew. So from a one man show, also to say, I started off my journey at in Puchong in a small apartment on the floor. Then we eventually grew, and now we have an institute where we are now already training image consultants to be image consultants. So it is a long journey, but looking back, it has been sort of interesting.
Wow, that has been quite a journey. And as they say, the rest is history, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like everything you name it under the sun, I've done it. During that time, the curve just opened. I even had a cart there, and I was standing there trying to sell accessories. Seeing what the market was and all that. So we started off with the hospitality industry, hotel alliance and all that, because they were the ones that wanted all this, grooming and all that. But eventually it picked up. So now a lot of MNCs are putting it as a must-have program, not only for their executives and managers, but also for newcomers, new graduates and all that.
Great. Wendy, I just wanted to ask you, now that it's and right smack. I'm not sure whether I should say the word in the middle of the MCO, but definitely is during the MCO period. How has business been for you with regard to the training industry?
Oh, it has been tough. In fact, it has been quite tough even before MCO was announced. Before all these things happened, it was January, February was relatively quiet because of Chinese New Year, and then you had that spillover of that festive season. So we could see the trend, but we were hoping that it would pick up in March and April. But unfortunately, this thing happened. So it went from like here and suddenly zero. So it has been really, really challenging. So there was that period where MCO first started where people, I'm sure it's not only me, myself, but it was also on the other side where people were very uncertain. Everything was in a limbo and all that. So it has actually affected myself, especially quite a fair bit. Right? To say no is actually a lie. Yes.
Are you also looking at different ways of conducting training right now because of MCO, or perhaps leveraging a lot on technology and sorts like that?
Okay, so this is the thing. I always say there's always something things always happen for a reason, right? And I have been putting, my online certification, my online courses. I've always wanted to do it, but it has always been at the back of my mind. And previously, sort of like end of last year, I was so busy with corporate trainings and all that, face-to-face training. So I sort of, a lot of people have been telling me over the past 2-3 years to do it because it's a trend now, it's a digital world now, and I have to do it. But because I've been so busy and developing all this need time, right? So MCO has given me sort of like a wake-up call and to do it in a way to push me to do it, so that has actually kept me very, very busy over the MCO 1 month plus period.
You see that SMEs per se, if they do not adopt digitization technologies or doing more of their work across the digital platforms, will they actually come out post MCO the same, or do you think that that's the new norm that's going to happen?
I think it's a new norm. I can see that graduation of people moving online. I give you an example. Previously, people my generation would not go into anything that's digital. I mean, I would not buy anything online for that fear of credit cards get stolen and all that. But as I see that now, I do a lot of my purchase online. It's sort of set in that you have to move towards that. So I'm also sure that some companies are not able to do that because of the nature of the business, right? But I'm sure you'll be able to find something that will be able to complement your existing business. I give you an example. Like I have a friend who opens a nail salon, right? So all these are physical things, or massage parlor, or spa and all that. It's tough for them because everything is physical, and then they have a physical office, physical shop and all that. But I see them gradually going into online as to teaching people how to do it as a whole online home spa, or teaching people how to do little massage here and there. So it's actually to complement whatever that they have, because all of us, including myself, believe that one day this is going to be over, and we hope and pray that it's going to be over soon. And once it's over, things will normalize, and you still have to go back to whichever business that you are in. Just that right now, everybody will have to be a little bit more innovative, instead of crying over MCO and all that, but trying to see what is it that I can do online to be able to complement on my current business.
One of the things that really attracted me to want to speak to you is that during this period when a lot of normalcy, or what people would think before MCO would be normal, cannot be adopted and it cannot be continued. And post MCO may not necessarily go back to that old normal, and the new normal would be about. So How does someone prepare the mindset before the change needs to happen? Because you can force change, but if internally you don't change, it's not going to be permanent. Because as I agree with you, the new normal will come. And the new normal is because of the experience that we've had during this MCO period that forces us to change. And if we don't change it, everybody else changes, so they'll be more adaptable compared to us. So what is it that we need to do to embrace the new normal? What would you say?
I think people need to look at it as a change of perspective, mindset. I feel that it's very important, because if you sit there and you don't do anything, MCO will still happen. There will still be COVID. right? So if you sit there and don't do anything, you're gonna die. So you might as well do something about it rather than cry and sit and be negative. So do something about it, and you'll be surprised. Yeah, the more things you do, the more opportunities will come, and the more ideas you will get. Right, and I see that that's very interesting, because when MCO first started, and this is what I see happening on Facebook as well, I see a lot of people jumping into trying to create new things, or trying to not creating new things, trying to learn out new things and all that. But I find that this doesn't work if you keep on trying to learn new things. By right, once you learn something new, you must implement it. Right, implement it, try out on your side, and give yourself a period of time. So just like I was talking to another friend the other day, I said, imagine now, like someone like me, I don't bake, right? And during MCO, I've decided that, okay, I'm going to try something new, right? So I go into YouTube and I log into this, and I find that, okay, this is something that I have never tried, I wanted to do. So you need to give yourself a period of 3 days, 5 days for you to be able to achieve something. So this is very important, because once you achieve something, right, that positive mindset will come in. Oh, I've actually got something. And I always believe that small wins will lead to big wins. So instead of thinking about, oh, this cannot do, that cannot do. And one of the things that my pet peeves is that the first word that comes up from your mouth must not be no. If it isn't no, you need to, slap yourself, right? Because once you say no, your mind doesn't see it, your eyes will not see it anymore. Right, so this is the thing that you have to be able to get yourself out from it. Try out new things, force yourself to do it, and once you keep yourself busy, new ideas, new innovative things will come to you.
So what you're suggesting is take this opportunity, because you are now home locked or homebound, to do something different, do something that you're not used to doing or never done before. So at least it gives you a new...
all the while have been planning to do, but have never gotten to do it. Right? And all the excuses, writing a book or whatsoever, so you have to use it, and you have to implement and start it.
Right. Can I ask you, what would be your normal daily routine right now be? Because I understand when you were a trainer and training 200,000 people, it's a very busy 9 to 6 schedule, perhaps even before you add in the travel times. So what do you do with all this time that you currently have? I mean, you can't be baking 7 hours a day. So what is it that you do to keep your mind and your body active, positive, and ready to take on post-MCO? What is it that you do?
Perhaps it's just me, but I am a very regimented person. Self-discipline is very important. So let me give you an example of what will happen this period of time. My daily routine, right? Early in the morning, if I wake up, eat something, and then by 9, I will have a conference call with my staff. Right? After which, right now we are developing our online certification, which should be able to launch next week. So do watch out for my online certification. And I've been wanting to do it for so long. Now, for the past 1 month, we have finished developing it. So that's already a good start. So it will be conference call, and after that, I'll be very busy doing videos. In the afternoon, we have another conference call with our staff again at about 5 o'clock, just to close the day. And then from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock is my cat's playtime. My cats, I have 3 cats, right? So I will bring my cats out for jalan-jalan, like how people walk their dog and all that. So I have a garden, and that's the time where I play with them, I clean the cage and all that. By 6:30, it's my exercise time. So 6:30 to 7 o'clock or 7-ish is the time where I do my own exercise at home, and it's a daily routine. So I don't stop because I'm lazy or I don't feel like it. No, you just have to do it. And then after that will be dinner, and then towards the night time, it will be a little bit of relaxing time, movie time or whatever, but I will still continue to work. So it has been like this for the past couple of weeks already, and I sort of got used to it, So that is how you need to be able to have a positive mindset that, something good is going to come out of it. So every day, try to look out for something positive that you want to achieve, right? Like today, I wanted to learn something after this conference call. I wanted to learn something on scarf tying. All right, so that is my little objective. It can just be, I want to learn one scarf tying for that one day. So it's a small win. And once you do that, right, tomorrow there's going to be another win the day after. And by the end of 1 week, you'll realize that you've actually achieved a lot of things. And that is one of the things you have to keep your mind positive and to keep you happy.
So basically what you're saying is don't eat the whole elephant in one go. Just take small bites, small bites.
Correct, yes. Then you'll be able to see achievements of something. I find that it's interesting because why I want to voice this out is that I see a lot of people now going into online seminars and all that. So they learn, and they don't learn from one person. Yeah, the same topic they can be learning from this person A, person B, person C, person D. By the time you finish person D, you will be confused, right? So don't do that. Okay, and then at the end of 1 week, right, I find that it's very confusing, and you would not have achieved anything, and you'll go back to that mood swing of, oh, I've not done anything during this MCO. Okay, so this is one of the things that shouldn't be. And also, I count myself lucky because I just started my PhD just 2 months before MCO. So during this time, I will take some time off to write my thesis and all that. So it's actually kept me very busy. In fact, MCO has actually kept me busier than previous, when I was doing corporate training.
Wow, congratulations on your embarkment of your PhD. It's definitely not easy.
Oh, it's like headache, sweating.
Yeah. But I wanted to get back to you with regard to what you mentioned just now, which was extremely important. I think that taking a single bite at one point in time, manageable bite size, not biting off too much so you can chew. I think that is such an important thing. However, for those who are not in a position whereby they're gone back to school or they have careers that they can go forward because maybe their industry is taking a real beating because of COVID-19, and their companies may actually look at a different way of how they should be working moving forward. What suggestions or tips can you help them with regard to giving them perhaps a mindset? Okay, if I need to have a new mindset, to have a new outlook, maybe there's certain things I need to do even for my body or even for the wardrobe that I have. What can I use the time for right now to prepare for the new normal, if the new normal says it's something that has to be 180 degrees different from what I'm currently expecting it to be or used to having?
Sorry, Ernest, you need to reword that. It's a bit too long, and I'm not sure where we are getting. Okay.
I'm just saying that if, for instance, the new normal causes someone to lose their jobs or they have to look for a new job, what can they do right now to start preparing, not just for the mindset, but maybe even the way they dress, the way they look, the way they carry themselves? What do you think that they can do at this particular moment, because it's now time on their hands that they can do with themselves or their wardrobes?
I think what a person can actually work on is themselves. All right, so we can work on two things: the outer part and the inner part. Right, so the inner part will be things like, picking up YouTube videos and all that, and you'll be surprised, even like for me, I'm not talking about online, webinars, big chunks of learning. Just a few days ago, I actually learned to do TikTok videos. So it's small bites, but for me, it's interesting. So you pick up all these little bits of things, you may not know it will actually help you in the future. Right? So these are already small things that you can do instead of bogging yourself and thinking that, I have to do lots of webinars, courses and all that to occupy my time. All right? Pick up few things which is applicable to you and will allow you to make little changes to your everyday life that is good enough. After all, MCO is not going to extend till end of the year. It's going to end somewhere May or June. So this is only a period of keeping our fingers crossed, a month's time. Okay, so pick up all these little small things. It will be able to help you tremendously internally, right? And then the second part will be your outer appearance. This is the best time, I'm telling you, best time to have your wardrobe clearance done. In fact, if you were to go to my YouTube, I have Wendy Image Consultant YouTube. I've actually done a few videos where, there's one video on closet cleaning. So it will actually teach you how to do your closet cleaning for this MCO period. And the videos I've done using the clothing that I have, surprisingly, it was actually from the last time where I've not touched that clothing for a long time. And I took it out and I sort of like tried it again, and luckily I could still wear. And it gave me sort of like, it's a new wardrobe change. So reinvent yourself during this time, and you'll be surprised to find that a little bit of branding change, image change, and all that will help you a lot, especially when you are now on conference call, doing conference interviews and all that. Whatever you see here, it's very important. So if you have not learned, if you have not had all the while had any makeup on your face, pick up some tips, right? Learn it and then apply it and then use it. Okay, so these are the little things, yeah. You can actually step up from MCO and say that I am a new I'm a new and changed person, confident, right, powerful, and able to take on whatever that is given to me. That is very important.
Wendy, what advice can you give to men who usually are not very, who don't have a lot of wardrobe pieces, if they wanted to just say, I need to do it 180, I want to be a different person, a more confident person moving forward. What do I need to do in my wardrobe?
Okay, so I think for men, right, one of the things that they can do is to look at how do you do smart casual dressing. Nowadays, people are going into smart casual dressing. Pick up from YouTube, or you can learn it from websites and all that, to think about how do you do, I call it style repeat on different shirts and different pants. That's good enough already, you know. And then all the while, if you have not learned about anything, something simple like cologne, for example, how do you choose perfume? You know, all these things will be really helpful when you are out there and people can see that immediate change. You know, even something simple like I was telling someone, like for conference call, right? Generally speaking, girls, of course, you know, you can dress up, but men sometimes tend to wear t-shirts at home, right? And one of the things which is actually very bad is that when you wear t-shirt, especially round collared tee, I'm not talking about that polo tee, I'm talking about round collared tee, right? Sometimes they forget that round collared tee has been around for a while and the collar sort of, run out of shape and all that. And if it is on conference call, it actually looks very bad, even though you're with your own colleagues, right? So be a little bit more mindful into all this part. Yeah, and do shave every day, and just like Ernest, he cut his own hair, which is good. You know, you look at him, it's a fresh look, right? Rather than disheveled and all that.
Great advice. I think one of the most interesting points that you mentioned just now is that we're not limited by what we were in the past. It's the future where we can actually aim our sights and go forward from there. I think one of the things that I wanted to just ask you in terms of goal setting, because you've been doing a lot of training on this, how does one set goals? Number one, I know you said small bite-sized pieces, but I'm talking something a little bit bigger than that. How does one set goals and hit them within, say, a reasonable period? What do you do as a tip for others to try and follow and emulate?
Okay, for me, it is always, you need to have a bigger goal in mind, all right? So once you have that bigger goal, you need to have a time frame, all right? And the time frame must be like what I was saying earlier, to have little small bites that lead towards the bigger goal. Okay, so let me talk about baking, for example, all right? So this is a bit easier to, if I want to make a big cake, and I can't possibly do with all the icing and all that. So what do? I will have to tell myself, within 2 weeks, I must be able to bake a cake and with all the icing and all the decoration nicely done. So what do? Day one, I will have to plan. Okay, today I'm going to bake just a simple cake. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to put another icing on. And the next day, I'm going to try to write, beautiful words on the cakes and all that. So while you're doing that, keep track of where you are going in order to be able to achieve your end goal. So this is applicable in everything that we do. Just like, for example, like for me, doing online certification, right, it's a big thing. It's a big thing, it's a huge thing, because why? For one, image training, right, it's very physical, it's very visual. So for me, it's sort of like a big challenge, and this is one of the reasons why I put it on hold as well. It is not like any other training where you can just have slides and someone just talking, and then you'll be able to explain everything, fair and square. But for me, I need to be able to show colors, I need to be able to show designs, and all these are really hard work. Yeah, so I have to put that thing into consideration when I want to do it. So what do? I have to tell myself, okay, I'm going to start with first module, first lesson. Right? So first lesson probably will be on colors, but colors is a big topic again. So in order to go to that big big topic, I need to chunk it down to small ones. Okay, and once I do the small ones, I have to tell myself, okay, by the end of the week, all these small pieces will have to piece up and become a big piece. Right? So manage your goal like this. I find that a lot of people, what they do is that they set goals, which is really big, but before they can even go into a quarter of the journey, they get tired and then they give up, punctured, or what the Malaysian call it, So to avoid that happening, right, you need to have a time frame, yeah, and then you need to be able to have what we call the panic monster in you. Most of the time, people don't achieve what they are doing is because why? There's nobody chasing them. There's no timeline. All right, so you need to have that self-discipline. I have to do it. And one of the things to do it is probably tell a friend or probably tell, your colleagues or whoever, okay, I'm going to do this by the end of the day, and to make sure that people keep track on you if you find that discipline is an issue, right? Or sometimes what I do is that I announce on Facebook or I announce something on Instagram, right? I say, okay, I'm going to launch and all that. So once you have announced it, you cannot not do it. So it is sort of like a self-reminder back to you that you have to do it because you've already told the whole world, right? So this is one of the things on goal setting. Everybody should go into that.
Great. Yeah. I think this is excellent, Sage, and I think more importantly, easy to apply. Listeners, if anybody actually has ideas or thoughts that are similar along these lines, you're on the right track. And if you need more information, obviously, you can also reach out to Wendy for sure. Wendy, last question, because I know you're very busy. I wanted to ask you this. Where do you see your company, Chapter 1, version 2.0, 5 years from now?
5 years from now. This is where I want to go. I want to expand internationally. So going into digital, providing online platform for international people to be able to take up certification and also corporate trainings on our side. So this is where I would like to head in 5 years time.
A lot of people think about very far into the future, and that's great. Looking reversely, what team or structure do you need to build to get you there and sustain you there? Because it's not a one-man show, right?
You're talking about where my goal is it?
Yeah, your goal is there, is taking you there. But when you look back and you have to look at the structure to get you there and to make sure that you're there on a sustained basis, what structure do you need to build?
I think for my side, right, for our side at least, if you're going on digital and all that, one thing good about digitalization is that you need to do it one time off, right? And then the thing will be able to move by itself. So I will need to have my team of people, and also we are thinking of expanding into other areas of training as well, not just confined into image. It can be leadership, it can be sales, it can be negotiation, all of that into one umbrella, whereby in order to change your image, these are all the tools that you need to be able to have to be able to move to where you are. So I'm looking into that, and structure wise, I think interestingly for trainings, right, we don't really need a huge big manpower or so to say. Okay, as long as you get the digitalization of how do I put this? As long as you get that structure of digital done nicely, you should be able to replicate it and make it more and more and more.
Done. I think that's actually a great message as well, because at the end of the day, those that actually whom you think are core will be trained and developed in order to support, and they will also grow at the same time to do so.
Yes. That's what my staff is actually doing now, getting themselves familiarized with all the digital platform. Because 5 years from now, you're talking about AI, you're talking about so many other things coming out, which I even for now. 5 years ago, I would not even have thought that Instagram is the thing. Okay, so everything is moving towards that now, and so we have to develop ourselves into moving towards that, regardless of whatever industry that we are in now.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you so much for your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is also another piece of advice for you guys. Whenever you are doing a video conference call, you always have to be very, very mindful of not just how you look, but also the background. So if you can see Wendy's background right now, it looks fantastic. It's very well curated. And at the end of the day, as MCO finishes and as things move on, we may even move to a more digitized way of working, whereby video conferencing is going to probably be the new normal or heavily used. So again, what Wendy has suggested today will definitely add value, not just to you, but also to your department moving forward. And if you definitely need help, Wendy is always there to give you assistance, and please check her out. And she's got a great website. She's also got a lot of followers, I think also on your Facebook page, right?
Yes, I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, I have it.
Well done.
I'm everywhere, yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you.
Bye.